Hi team. So this video is meant to kind of quickly walk you through what we're expecting for the extra credit as part of your Excel BNAN 277 discussions. So everyone should have this analytics report or some version of it. And where we're going to use this, I don't want you to use it in the data analysis section. So where we're going to use it is the introduction and the conclusion. And then what we're going to have and how you're going to know what I'm kind of looking for is you're going to cite the original introduction and the original conclusion, and you're going to cite it, right? So that's how you're going to earn the full point. You're going to need to have your original intro, original conclusion. And so I already have this written in here. Yours is going to say insert text. I just wanted this video to kind of be efficient. If you're not going to do the extra credit, delete this, right? So we're going to, so I'm always going to get rid of any highlighting. And so I'm going to do something like this. I don't love that this has a huge gap before it. I'm going to old school do it this way. And what we're going to do is, it's really about improving you all, improving your writing. I was just reading this article here about McKinsey challenges graduates to master AI tools as it shifts hiring hunt towards liberal arts majors. And if you go through and read it, a lot of it is just, well, they're better writers, right? Our business students have not been really good writers, and a lot of it's because they're maybe moving too quickly, or that they'll use AI and it's called AI slop because they're not reviewing it. And so that's what we're trying to get across here. And so in terms of tools, I do not care which one you use, right? And so you'll see mine up here. I have ChatGPT been bookmarked. I have Gemini. I have Claude. Things of that which I like Claude by Anthropic, but again, you use whichever one you're comfortable with to go through and do this. And I do think that you shouldn't just say, make this better, right? We're going to talk about it, and you'll hear, you probably already heard it a million times, about kind of prompt engineering. And so I'm always going to start by, rather than asking it the task, I've got to give it some information here. And so I start it kind of like a conversation, like something like, hello, like I need help writing, or I'm going to say refining an introduction and conclusion for an analytics report. Right? And you could stop there, but it's so vague, it's going to kind of go crazy. I'm working in the deepest mode here. If you want to do fast, quick answers, it doesn't walk you through the thought process. That's good as well. Again, you can use whatever tool. They all kind of have those pieces. I'm going to start with like, here is the information that it wants for each, and then I'll just go introduction. I'm going to go here. Right, I'm going to copy this, and so it talks about everything that we're looking for, and this is going to be true for almost all our cases. It's meant to be in this introduction. Hey, if my boss has 3 minutes to read this, they can read it and understand, okay, how much data were they working with? What were they trying to do? Did they do any stats? If they did, great. What were the results? And if there are recommendations, what would they be? And then if they want the nitty gritty, they go into the data analysis section. But we're trying to be both efficient and informative in a really quick way. And so I'm going to go in, I will go into Claude, and I will just paste, and then I'll do conclusion, and then I'll go in here, and I'm holding shift to go to the next line if that kind of works for you. I'm here, right, and then I'll paste something like this. So it's just making sure, and then I'll put like, I have originals that I need you to review to make sure they are both professional and include all of the necessary information. And I'm typing too fast here to go through. All right, so the first part of this is you can't let it do all of your job for you, because then it makes it exponentially more likely that you're going to make mistakes. or the AI is going to make mistakes. And so you need to start, and you can start by bulleting it, right? You could say, we had this amount of data. It doesn't have to be a polished introduction. We were set out to look at this, and a lot of this you can pull from the assignment. That's going to vary based upon when you're watching this video. Were you looking for differences in credit limit? Were you looking at differences in, I don't know, salary over time? A lot of those kind of factors that you'll have to fill in. Then, like, we performed this statistical test, whether it's t-test, ANOVA, regression, advanced regression, checking for violations, key results, that could be very vague or very broad, and then what recommendations do you have? And so I've already gone through. This is for kind of an example of your first case, because I'm guessing this will be the first time you watch it. I wrote an original. This is my work, right? The following report was created to assist. Our team was tasked with analyzing data of this many clients. We performed a detailed analysis, including advanced statistical testing that includes t-tests, comparing means for both, and I just copy paste that. From our test, we found this. Based on our findings, we recommend this. We also recommend a deeper analysis just because, hey, there's lots of ways we can go, especially early on. And so I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to paste. All right, and I'm going to hit enter, because it asks here, it's like, I'm happy to help refine introduction analytics. Please share your original draft. I'll review them against requirements. When you share them, it also helps you really tell me the topic of the report. Hopefully, I answered that within here, but we'll kind of see. And because it's a deep mode, it's going to walk me through a lot of these pieces. And I like this because I'll kind of see things like that, and you can see, like, it's saying, hey, you've made some mistakes or things to refine, and then the suggested revision is, okay, that's what I'm looking for. So I would take this, I'm going to copy it. Honestly, I'm going to review it in here. So this report was reviewed to assist the marketing and financing, this data from this time on these customers, using independent sample t-tests, compared male and female clients, and paired, nice, it actually paired these up to be a little bit more specific, so AI is getting better. We found that men have slightly average bill amounts. And again, check yours because it may be different based upon what you're doing. Based on these findings, we recommend this. We recommend a further analysis to understand. Perfect. And so this one's actually really, really nice. Where you want to be careful is sometimes it will like add numbers in there. It'll make up percentages or something like that. And so what you're going to do is, okay, I have my introduction. I'm going to right click. I'm going to paste. All right, and then I have that. Then you have your original piece right here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and save this because I save often. All right, so I can always see this piece. And then the original conclusion, just repeat the process. All right, and so would you like to share your conclusion draft next? Yes, right? Yes, ... You could be kind of careful. I would say, like, maybe can you simplify a version of this that would meet the conclusion criteria, right? Because for the conclusion, it's just a recap on those kind of pieces, and it talks to the criteria again. Yours may not do that, and so I think this is fine for your questions. You can put your name and email. You can make it up if you really want. You should have it in the top of the report, but you could use something like this as your kind of conclusion as you go through. And again, I would check it as we kind of go through this piece. And so I would do something like copy. And I think I'm fine with, right, if you go here, right, make sure it's kind of on this piece, then I'm going to get rid of all the highlighting. Right, and then if you want, you can put here maybe like used AI tool to condense the already provided introduction. So making your life a little bit easier, right? Because you can use the tool, right? Work smarter and harder on those kind of pieces. So I'm fine with that. If you are more comfortable writing your own conclusion, you can do that and have it kind of modify the same way. That's fantastic. The last piece is sources consulted, and I have the link here, but it is a tool. Like, okay, I need to cite this use in APA format can you provide that for me? Okay, as you go, hopefully it kind of goes through there. Conversation, traditional downside. I would still, it says, hey, you don't need to cite it. Yes, you do, right? Especially if we're going to be careful here. All we need is something like this, right? So take this, copy, don't do the in text because we're doing it at the very, very end. I don't need the acknowledgement. I want something like that. If you want to, you can, but really what I'm looking for is I paste this here. And again, if you're ever nervous or something like that, it's fine to overdo it, right? You can copy this, and I don't know, I could put like a star or something in that piece. I'm not the BCom department or anything like that. Kind of show how we kind of used it there, but that's it. So we'll be looking for three things: original intro, original conclusion, or that you use, you tell us that, and then make sure you put the actual intro and conclusion up here. That's it. Should be a relatively easy point, maybe take you 10 minutes. And it is the largest point of your part of your grade. So please take the time and let us know if we can help in any way. Please do not use it in the data analysis section. You need to be doing that yourself. You can check for grant, something of that nature, but again, we talk about this in a very unique business applied way, in a non kind of statistical way, and so that's what we'll be looking for. So just the intro conclusions, but hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions.